Hello and welcome to Polish National Ballet's Facebook live stream in celebration of World Ballet Day. My name is Jordan Bautista, and for the next 30 minutes I'll be giving you a behind-the-scenes look at what happens here at Polish National Ballet. To tell you a bit more about myself, I'm originally from Gibraltar. I started dancing around at the age of 8 in a local home school, and then at the age of 16 I moved to London to study at English National Ballet School. I was there for 4 years, and then after graduating, I moved straight to Warsaw, and I'm now in my third season here. So our company is roughly made up of 85 dancers from all over the world. We are a touring company, so aside from performing in this theatre, we perform internationally and nationally. In the past 2 to 3 years, we've performed in Washington, D.C., in New York, in The Hague, Netherlands, and most recently in St. Petersburg, Russia, where we dance as part of the Dance Open Festival with our director, Krzysztof Paster's The Tempest. So the theatre we are in right now is called the Teatr Wielki, which translates in English to the Grand Theatre in Warsaw. It was actually rebuilt in 1965 after World War II, and we're very proud to say we house the largest stage here in Europe. So this season we started off with a run of our director, Krzysztof Paster's Swan Lake. He created and we premiered it last year. We are also now recapping our triple bill that we premiered last year. It's made up of 3 ballets. The first is Chopiniana by Alexei Fereyev. The second is Bolero by our director. And the third is Chroma by Wayne McGregor. We are actually also in the midst of creating our new premiere, which is happening on November 10th. It is another triple bill, but it's titled Polish Ballets, and it is choreographed by 3 different Polish choreographers to music by 3 different Polish composers. So right now we are in the second studio. Down the corridor we have another studio which we will be visiting a bit later, and this is pretty much where most of the work and rehearsals take place. Okay, so right now we have one of our first soloists, David. So if you can come over here so you can have a few questions with you. Okay, so where and when did you begin your training?
I started roughly when I was 10 at the National Ballet School in Bytom near my hometown.
Okay. And when did you leave Poland and what sparked that decision?
I left Poland when I was 17. I went to participate at Prix de Lausanne competition in 2006. I got to the finals. I got offered a place at the Royal Ballet School. I couldn't say no, so I left at the age of 17, 18, and still continuing school in Poland and being a student at the Royal Ballet School.
Oh, wow, that's interesting. So where did you start your professional career, and do you remember what that was like, making that transition from being a student into a professional?
Oh, that was a long time ago. So halfway through my graduation year at the Royal Ballet School, I was offered a contract with the Royal Ballet and asked to join the company in March. I was super excited. It's been my dream for years, not even to join the company, but to be able to see them perform live. I have to admit, at first, it was difficult to transition from being a student and having the teacher shouting at you every day, then to being responsible for yourself. It took me around 4 years to be promoted to soloist. At first I wasn't dancing much. I was very eager and I really wanted to do a lot, so I decided to do competitions. In the summer I went to Varna and I went to Beijing competition, and I think I got noticed thanks to that, and then got more roles. After 7 years at Royal, I decided to leave the company and follow my idol, Johan Koberg, who took over as a director at the Bucharest National Opera in Romania. And I had wonderful 2 years there, performed most of the principal roles.
Okay, so how did you find your way back to Poland?
Well, after a while, I started to miss home. As a young dancer, young person, I just wanted to go as far as possible. But then every year, coming back home for summer, it was more and more difficult to leave my family behind, and especially not having them watch me perform. So after 2 years in Bucharest, I decided to move back to Poland.
Okay. So what's it been like working in this theatre in your home country in comparison to all the other companies you've performed in?
Well, I have to say that at first I did feel like a foreigner almost, because I'm not from Warsaw, so I don't really know the city that well. And I didn't know the company apart from a few dancers who I went to school with. So it took a few months to adjust, and now it's my second season, and I really feel at home here and way more comfortable. And definitely what's special is that I can have my family watch me on a monthly basis.
Wow, that's amazing. So are there any roles that you're looking forward to this season?
I'm definitely looking forward to our premiere in April of John Neumeier's Damo Camelias. It's an incredible ballet with beautiful storyline, music, and choreography. A huge challenge for the whole company, but it will be worth it.
Definitely. And much like that, do you have a dream role that you hope to perform in the future?
Well, my dream came true a year ago. I got to perform De Grier in Sir Kenneth Macmillan's Manon. That was my ultimate dream. I'd love to come back to it at some point. But actually, I still haven't performed Romeo in a full-length Romeo and Juliet. So I think that's the next role I would like to tick off.
Amazing. Thank you so much, David, for the questions. Okay, so now I'll take you down into the corridor. Okay, so as you can see in the corridor, we have a bunch of posters down the corridor, which show all the productions that we've done. For example, here we have a poster of Darkness, which was a piece that was premiered last year in the chamber stage, choreography by Isadora Weiss. And coincidence that the dancer on that poster is actually just down this corridor. Her name is Eureka, and we're going to go over to her to ask her a few questions. Hello, Eureka. Okay, stand over here, Bibs. Okay, so the first question, when and where did you start dancing?
I started dancing when I was 7 years old. It was a very small studio in Japan.
Okay, so when did you actually decide to leave Japan and why?
I received a scholarship when I did a competition called Japan Grand Prix. I was 16 years old. And in Japan, my ballet studio was 1 hour and a half away from my house, so I could go to practice ballet very limited time. So for me back then, I immediately asked my parents if I can go to Boston so I can live near the ballet studio and dance every day.
Okay, so what was your journey before coming to Poland, actually, after going to Boston as well?
After I finished my student year and second company in Boston, I moved to Finland, Finnish National Ballet, and I came to Poland.
So you've recently been promoted to soloist, congratulations. How was that transition for you, like going from corps de ballet to choreography and now soloist?
Well, first of all, I'm feeling really blessed to experience from the corps de ballet to soloist in this company, because in each places I learned something different. In the corps de ballet, you have to always standing in the perfect lines, you have to do simple steps, but still you have to present yourself. And in choreography, you still learn corps de ballet, of course, and soloists, some variations and a lot of understudies for soloists and principals sometimes.
So it sounds like a lot of work. So do you have any dream roles?
And I would like to dance one day a piece called Dances at Gathering. Do you know it?
Yes, I definitely know that.
The choreography is by Jerome Robbins and the music is by Frédéric Chopin.
Wow. Okay, so people would like to know, what is your pre-performance routine or what is your routine before coming to work like?
Usually, I wake up at 7:30, making coffee and breakfast. Recently, I eat something like yogurt and muesli, just something simple. And I come to work. And on the way to the theater, I listen to music, and it's sometimes the music that I have to dance on that day, because I just love listening to the music and imagine what I can do in the count and rhythm. I just love doing it.
Okay, so lastly, for any dancers that are watching and maybe starting their professional careers or even just dancing in their local home schools, do you have a piece of advice for them? Maybe something someone told you when you were younger that's kept you motivated every day?
Let's see. There is one thing I keep in my mind all the time. My very first ballet teacher, she taught me, if you want to become a beautiful dancer, you have to have a beautiful heart. That was so sweet. And it was for kids class, but somehow it stayed in my mind for such a long time.
Oh, well, that's very sweet. Thank you so much, Eureka, for the answers. I'll let you get ready for the rehearsal. Okay, so I'll lead you down the corridor. So over here we have the other studio, the studio that I mentioned before, which we'll be visiting a bit later. Down the corridor at the beginning of it, we have our schedule, which we can have a quick look at. Actually, you can see what a day-to-day is like here for us. So often we start at 10 o'clock and we'll have an hour of class till 11, which gives us then a 15-minute break to start rehearsals. Rehearsals will run up till about 2 o'clock, and then we'll have an hour for lunch, and then rehearsals go on from 3 till 6. Sometimes we have stage rehearsals or performances that can start at 6 or 7, so we can often finish at 10, so it's pretty long days. So right now I'm going to lead you into our director's office so we can ask him a few questions. Hello. Okay, so I have some questions for you. So the first question is, where and when did you begin your journey with dance?
I started with my hometown Gdańsk. It's north of Poland, a ballet school, national ballet school. But it wasn't as interesting as Billy Elliot's story. I was playing violin for 1 year, and it was very difficult. So my father decided to send me to the ballet school. So it was my father's decision first, yeah.
Okay.
But I would like to say happy World Ballet Day, first of all, yeah, to all.
Of course. Okay, so the next question is, when did you discover your passion for choreography?
I think it was somewhere there in me, already very young age, but when I started to think about my future, what next, I started really seriously think about choreographing. I think for today's standard it was quite late, because I think I was like 27 when I started to do my first pieces. And then I was happy to be with the Dutch National Ballet, where we had the possibility to choreograph for yearly workshops.
Okay.
That was the reason one of my first decision here, it was to bring the workshop for this company. It's very nice.
Well, thanks. Okay, so was it difficult to make that transition for you from being a dancer into choreographer?
Yes and not, because it was quite smooth. I was lucky enough to have some work immediately, but difficult because, of course, it was some periods of uncertainty that I didn't know if I will have a job. So I was thinking maybe I will have to be a truck driver, or which is it's a profession as well.
It worked out well for you, I think.
To be choreographer, you have to choreograph, and that's not always evident. Yeah.
For sure. So during your career as a dancer and choreographer, when and how did you manage to find the role of being a director of this theatre?
I think it was a question maybe of ambition, or I had a period that I was not so busy with choreographing. It's normal for every choreographer, and I wanted to do something else. Something on this side of the job. And I got a proposition here. Actually, it's my country. So, and it didn't work out at first. It was not. I think the direction of the company, of the theater. It's a big theater, really big. They were not ready to accept my conditions, what I wanted to change, what I wanted to introduce. But 4 years later, it did happen, and I'm happy to be in my country.
That's great, actually. So aside from directing both Lithuanian National Ballet and Polish National Ballet, you also create a lot of pieces for different companies internationally. And I was wondering, has that always been a dream for you, to have your pieces being performed internationally? And what has that experience been like for you?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's. I remember when I was a small boy in this Gdańsk, my hometown. I had a map of Europe, and I was dreaming about traveling. It was the communist time. But now, of course, it allowed me to travel and to meet wonderful artists and dancers. So it's really great. The big challenge between Lithuania and Poland is to keep the repertoire different. So I'm the person who is linking both, but it has to be different. Each company has to have own identity.
So the last question is, do you have anything you're looking forward to this season?
Everything what we do, but of course we have, the first part, we have the Polish evening, the second part of the season we have the Chameleon Dame by John Neumeier, but every performance is very important for me, and we are going to perform very soon Chopiniana, Bolero, my choreography, and Chroma by Wayne McGregor, so this is what's next for us.
So speaking of Bolero, I think there's a rehearsal going on right now, which you need to go into. I'll let you go then. Thank you so much. Okay, so the rehearsal you're about to see now is Bolero by our director, Christoph Pasta, originally created for Dutch National Ballet, but we had the fortune to perform it last year as part of our premiere. In the rehearsal, you'll be seeing artists of the company and two of our first soloists, David, who we spoke to before, and Yuka Ebahara. Enjoy.
Just to remind you, for the ladies, yeah, remember the arms and the moment when you turn around. This, and for the boys, remember the way the arms are going. Yeah, boys, please pay attention. It's not like this. Yeah? We push to the side, yeah, and also the rhythm. Yeah. So let's start from the beginning. Relax.
Can you go one step front? Because they.
We can go a little bit more front. Okay.
The leg is very important. When you do this step, it's a big step from, yeah? It's not a pose, it's a dynamic step. It's a super. The leg back is a bit of the ground. Left shoulder is going strong, yeah? That's the most important. It was quite good, yeah? Remember to have a space between the arms and the upper body, yeah? So we go like this. It's very clear position, yeah? Voice was good. Can we see that maybe let's do the very beginning, the first few movements. Okay, I do 3 counts before. 3, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, and 1 and 2, 3, and 1 and 2 and push, push, 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, very good, very good. Yeah. Okay, that's the beginning. Okay, thank you for the beginning. Go there, yeah, so you have to really home the last, yeah, do a little bit more, and there was another here. This is good. This was next step, it was on 3, now it works, yeah, and it was also what I said,
So unfortunately, that's all we have time for here today at Polish National Ballet. A huge thanks to our friends at the Royal Opera House and Royal Ballet for inviting us to take part in this celebration. If you haven't already, make sure to like our Facebook page to see any updates of us in the future. Or you can also go to our website, teatrwielki.pl or www.polskiballetnarodowy.pl for tickets. Thank you for tuning into our live stream. I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you have, make sure to share it with friends and family, as it will still be available after today. So finally, a huge thank you from me and everyone here at Polish National Ballet, and I hope you enjoy the rest of World Ballet Day. Bye.
Dobrze, panowie, dla trzech panów tylko początek jest to też dużo, tak? Macie wielki skok, jest super, very fast. You have to be the preparation. Okay, let's do this. Yeah.